to Vista Voices. I'm your host. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Vazano, and joining me is
I'm David Rees.
And James Lynch.
and our guest today is Keera Swan, who is one of the quality of life managers at Vista. Welcome, Keera.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I'll start off. Keera, what is your favorite part of designing the Vista catalog?
So probably one of my favorite parts about designing the catalog is coming up with all these fun activities that some people didn't even know happened in Connecticut. And yeah, it's so much fun to find unique opportunities for people to try out.
That's great. And what is the hardest part of designing the catalogs?
The hardest part is making sure that I have things that appeal to everyone and that everyone can find at least a few activities or clubs or classes that they would enjoy participating in.
Which one of you would like to go first?
You go first.
I can.
Yeah.
Keera, when did you first start working at Vista?
So I started working at Vista in January of 2020, and I started off in the Discover program as a Discover instructor.
Yeah?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, Chris was one of the first people that I worked with at Vista.
Yeah?
And was that during COVID or before?
It was right before COVID, so kind of a unique first year.
Yes, indeed.
Seeing, you have another question there?
I do. Keera, what was your favorite part about helping with the Vista musical Legally Blonde this year?
Oh, that's hard because I enjoyed so much of it. It was my first time ever doing anything related to theater, so I think probably my favorite part was seeing everyone's hard work and dedication and seeing it pay off in the end with a great show.
That's wonderful. I'm also wondering, how did you find out about working at Vista?
I found out about working at Vista because I had a friend who used to work at Vista who said that I should check it out, that it would be a great place for me to work at. And I did.
Yes. You fit in so nicely here.
Thanks.
That's always good because at work it's good to make friends with your coworkers.
Yep.
Once you're familiar with the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was also wondering, when did you start working for Quality of Life at Vista?
So I started working for Quality of Life technically in November, this past November, but I was still kind of doing a little bit of my old job as an engaged program counselor, but I fully transitioned in January of this year.
That must have been hard for change.
It was difficult but change is always hard, but it's also good.
Especially doing both, but it seems like you liked it.
Yes, we did.
That's it for Vista Voices.
Join us next week when we have more guests and have a lot more to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Lynch's Monthly Sports Jam. Hello, I am your host, James Lynch, and today we are going to explore David Wright, who just got inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame, and number 5, retired recently. The topic with us today is Mets third baseman David Wright, the 5th captain in Mets history. He just had his number retired on a banner, with that number 5 going up this past Saturday, 7/19, at Citi Field for about an hour ceremony. With that said, he spent his whole 14-year baseball career all with the New York Mets when becoming the face of the franchise. Some facts we have here about the captain is that he was a 7-time All-Star in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2012, and 2013. He was named their most recent captain in March of 2013 because of all the skills of leadership towards his teammates while on the field and off the field. The Mets manager at the time, Terry Collins, from 2011 to 2017, said something at the time about his showing up in their clubhouse and on the field. He was very powerful, as well as with showing so much gratitude towards his teammates and coaches throughout his career. He has had so many of these qualities, both personally and professionally, being nothing but this great person. I would say, even though he never won a World Series, which was his ultimate goal, could have been that because of all his injuries, then putting pressure on himself to go out of his way. This was to help the Mets win and be in every game. He was someone that never complained while playing through these tough times in the later part of his career. Also, I will say this: if he did not hide his injuries throughout his career, it may not have been cut short, and he could have got to play a few more seasons. Thank you for joining me at Lynch's Monthly Sports Jam. We will see you next time.
welcome to Dave's Dugout. Hi, I am David Reese, and I am going to talk about this week's sports highlights. This week in baseball, this week in baseball, there was an MLB home run derby and MLB All-Star game. The game was won by the NHL and sudden death. This week in golf is the Open Championship in Ireland. The championship is at a historic place called Royal Portrush Golf Club. This week in soccer, Chelsea from England beat PSG of France for the World Cup club team title. It was a huge upset. This week in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark got hurt again. Despite missing games, her team is still winning games. My favorite game of the week was MLB All-Star Game. It has the best players. The game was won by the NL. The game I am looking forward to next is WNBA All-Star Game. This year's game is in Indianapolis, Indiana. My MVP of the week is Tommy Fleetwood because he is from England and has not won a major tournament. He might win the Open Championship. See you next time at the dugout.
Hello and welcome to Real Deal. I'm your host, Chris Fasano, and today I'll be reviewing Superman, now in theaters. This Superman reboot soars nearly to the heights of the first Christopher Reeve one, thanks to some boisterous humor that fits in nicely with the tone of the movie. The cast is relatively sublime, except for Lex Luthor and his armies of yes men and deities. Their performances feel out of place and undermine the gravitas of the movie. However, this movie can stand up on its own 2 feet thanks to some glorious special effects and a biting wit. Their performances, thankfully the movie begins without the arbitrary origin story rather than Superman in his early years, where the story begins as Superman has just been defeated but not dead by a formidable opponent, and Krypto, the Kryptonian dog, comes to accost the Man of Steel to his clandestine robots to heal him and soothe him with a message from his dying parents that eventually becomes the focal point for the story, which is bold and works very well to evolve the character of Superman. He has become more relatable with this welcome change. Lois Lane is brilliantly played by Rachel Brosnahan, and she gives a lot of Margot Kidder vibes, and is not just a damsel in distress. The film is not without fault, though, and the flaws lie with the villains, especially Lex Luthor. He is an exaggerated version of a megalomaniac, and it is painfully obvious what they were trying to accomplish with his performance. I would have also liked to have seen more scenes with Lois and Clark Kent, but that is a very minute complaint. Superman by James Gunn delivers something for everyone, no matter what age or knowledge of the aforementioned character, and I'd recommend checking it out this summer season. I give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you.